Hey folks, welcome to another Dev Corner. I'm Tom from the community management team at DICE. We're nearing the end of 2022, so today we're recapping what's coming your way in December and what's headed your way in the new year. With me is Ryan, senior producer on Battlefield 2042. Ryan, welcome.
Thanks, Tom.
How's it going?
It's going good. It's amazing to run into you in this office that we work in together.
Who would have expected?
Not me.
Okay. So we just released our first update for Season 3 in early December, update 3.1. How are you and the team feeling as we're headed towards the new year?
I think the team's pretty happy about where we're finishing off the game for the end of the year. I think obviously we still got some work to do. We want to continue in the new year, but I think with 3.0 coming out the door, I think the game, we see performance getting better in the game. We see the game starting to really take shape and becoming the game we want it to be. And then with some of the new content that we're heading into the holidays with, I think is really strong, as well as some of the performance fixes we want to get in to make sure that players go in with the best holiday experience they can have.
Awesome. So you mentioned the holiday experience. So we got an awesome mid-season event coming later in December. So we'll talk a little bit about that later. But first, I would like to talk about your favorite moments for the year. So we're into the third season now. Do you maybe want to share a little bit of your favorite moments?
Yeah, I think. Obviously, we started off when we launched this game. We didn't start off in the place we wanted to be, and I think there's two sort of moments that I really think about that are really sort of really stand out for me. So one is the day after we launched Season 1. I think, we made some really tough decisions to delay this game, to delay the seasons for 6 months. We pushed to fix the game. We went after those core things that needed to be done to make this game feel really good. But that launch moment for Season 1 was that point in time where we're finally giving players the new content to really show what we wanted this game to become. So, the launch day was a little bit bumpier than we had hoped, but, it wasn't until that next day we were going to get player feedback and know how that was going to land. And the fact that first season and that, with exposure landed, I think, in a good way. Players really liked the way that map played. They liked the new specialist. I think that was a good moment for myself and the team to sort of feel that we were moving in the right direction. We were getting back to where we wanted to be. And then, you fast forward 3 months, we get into Season 2, and the Stranded map was different than Exposure, a little bit smaller. We were going after more of those tighter play spaces. And so there was a little bit of trepidation in the team. Is this, again, still, we had one good season under our belt. How could we follow that up better than Season 1? And I think, not only did the map land really well, I think the gameplay plays better than Season 1, I think. And then we get, with those Battlefield moments, that's sort of the start of the container meme that we've got, which I think, when the game is moving in the right way, it's when we can have those moments of levity and fun with the community. And I think, it's just taking those legs. And I think it's, that to me are sort of those two key moments over the last year that have been the things that have kept us going.
Awesome. And how are you feeling about Season 3 once it's out now?
So Season 3, I think from the moment we sort of started on this journey to get this game to where we want it to be, I think we had sort of internally set Season 3 as that target, that can we get this game to the place we wanted it to be from the moment we released it by then. And the team pushed really hard, looking at how do we get, what's missing from this game? How do we get the gameplay back? How do we make this, feel more Battlefield? And sort of Season 3 was that target that we'd always had. And then when you look at, how it came out, I think Spearhead plays really well. It really builds off of seasons 1 and 2. I think, Rashid is a great addition to sort of that assault fantasy that we want to create in the game. And I think, as you said, the performance in the game and those improvements that came out with 3.0, I think that kind of really solidified that, we've got the game to a good foundation. It's something that we think is really strong that we can build off for the future. And I think I'm happier and more proud of the team than I could ever have imagined. And I think the feedback we're seeing from players in terms of the way the conversation is becoming more positive and the feedback we're getting is really valuable and really helpful. I think it just sets us up really well for the future. And as you say, in Season 3, we're going to see, we've got the manifest map has just gone out. We've got the event coming, and then the specialist rework coming even later. I think Season 3 is sort of that foundational effort that we really wanted to get to with this game.
You already mentioned it, the manifest rework is out right now with update 3.1. Do you maybe want to give a little bit of a recap for those who haven't played it yet?
Yeah, and I think the team's done a really great job with the reworks, and I think with manifest similar, right? Is that how do we streamline this experience? How do we create sort of a more a more sort of tighter experience that allows for less travel time between points, more find better usage for some of those points that we're seeing from the data that just aren't being used in the way we want. And sort of really creating a lot more identity throughout the experience. And I think, from what we can see already, that's starting to land really, really well.
And more shipping containers. We love
yeah, if you're going to go after shipping containers, then Manifest is the place to be. I mean, there's no better map for your love of containers in this particular game.
Awesome. So we had a free access period during the summer, at the start of the summer, for Steam and Xbox, but we've got another one coming up for PlayStation. You maybe want to talk a little bit about why this is the right time for us to offer such a free access period.
Yeah, I mean, I think similar to what I was saying earlier. I think when you look at, when we looked at this game, when we started this journey, it wasn't where we wanted to be. The players and the community had told us so, and I think the team here also was not, that wasn't where they wanted this game to land either. And I think, the goal was for us to get this game to a good place before we started to invite new players back into this game. We wanted something that the community was gonna. Be happy with and kind of be advocates for. And so we kind of set that internal target for Season 3. And we think with the game being in the state it's in, I mean, we still got work to do. We still have more we want to do this. We still got things we can improve. But I think the game is now playing really well. People are having a lot of fun. And now we think it's the right time to sort of open that up to new players who may have missed out on the experience because of the way the game shifted. And I think now is a good time to sort of welcome players in and show them what this game's become.
So starting on December 20th, we have the Battle of Nordvik event for Season 3. We'll run for 3 weeks total with 3 separate experiences per given week. Do you maybe want to share what players can expect from the event?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to spoil too much of it, I think. But again, I think another, thing, when you look back at Season 2, taking a lot of learnings, a lot of feedback that we have from the players in terms of how that experience felt in terms of the quality of the gameplay experience, the distribution of rewards, the progression element to it. So I think what you're going to see with Season 3 is obviously this experience is going to be 3 weeks long, but each of them is kind of their own sort of mini experience where each week you'll get a new set of rewards to chase for players. We've had a look at how do we make those rewards feel more valuable, more things for players to earn. Obviously there'll be some really cool stuff for the players to buy in the store as well, but we've taken that feedback from the players of how do we get that quality level up in the game? How do we, in the experiences as well, how do we get the right balance between earning stuff, and then if there's stuff that players wish to go in the store, there's some cool stuff there as well. Obviously we still want to keep improving on these events, but I think the Season 3 event, the Battle for Nordvik, is a nice step forward in our sort of event package for Season 3.
Okay. And we've got a lot of nice shinies to earn from gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of the cool gameplay items are really cool. I think the team has done a really good job of finding something that really fits that theme, in sort of the northern part of Sweden there, where and Spearhead I think is a really cool map, a lot of different kind of play styles that we can offer in each of these 3 different experiences. Going back to some of those classic experiences, you're going to see maybe introduction of Conquest Assault and stuff like that. So I think players are going to have a lot of fun with it.
It's just a few more days, so almost time to jump in.
It's a great way to spend your Christmas.
Exactly.
Northern Sweden.
Very, very dark. Brings us to the new year. So in the new year, you've got update 3.2 coming out early next year. And that's where I think this is like the next big moment for us with the specialist rework, breakaway, new map reworks. Do you maybe want to talk about what we can expect and why this moment is important for us as a team? Yeah,
I think if you look at, obviously, I think when you start with the map reworks, I think the team has gone. I think to me each one is getting better. And again, you sound like dad, so proud of your children sometimes. But I mean, again, the team, each one they've done more and more, and they've learned more and more from each of these reworks. And I think breakaway for me is, at times it feels night and day how different it is and how different it plays. So I think I'm really excited to see the players get their hands on that one. I think they're really going to enjoy that map. Now the specialist rework, that's a really interesting one. I think when we started this journey way back in sort of December of last year, the feedback on the missing class sort of structure, the shift towards specialists, that was sort of probably one of the big things on the list that we needed to tackle for our players to get this back to be Battlefield that they want. So this is sort of the last big ticket item that we've kind of been chasing throughout this year, and so I think I'm really looking forward to seeing how players sort of react to that with a little bit of trepidation, but also quite a lot of excitement to see how they react to it. I mean, this is probably one of those features that we've shared with some of our members in the community. We've gotten feedback, we've let them, sort of experience. So we've kind of made this change as best we can together with players to kind of get it to a place where we think really fits this particular game. So I think, I'm quite excited to see them get it. I think players will be happy with the change. I think it gets them back to sort of the experience they're used to, but still maintains that identity that we still have in 2042.
Okay. Very excited to see it coming. So it's coming out early next year. We've also given a very sneak preview of Season 4. So for folks who missed it, do you maybe want to share what to expect there? Yeah,
I mean, again, Season 4 will be building off the same seasonal structure we have. You're going to get your battle pass with new cool stuff, new specialists. You're going to get a new map as well, I think, which we teased in the blog update, a little while ago. I think the map's really cool. I mean, the focus of the season is around that tactical gameplay, team play, sort of close quarters combat. I think the map itself will feel quite different than the other ones. A lot more tactical indoor and outdoor spaces that are really cool as part of this. The team that built that have done a fantastic job in terms of sort of creating that sort of battlefield feeling, that team play experience that we really want. Couple that with the specialist rework that's coming before this. I think Season 4 is going to feel really, really strong.
Awesome. And we even gave a preview of Season 5, so what comes after.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting as well. I think if you look at it, and again, we owe all of that to our players, right? Their willingness to stick with this game, their willingness to let us go after and make the improvements that they needed, and the fact that they're still playing this game, still liking it, and we get more players every day. That's allowed us to go to continue and build into Season 5. And I think as you're going to see with Season 5, there's some, the team has some really cool ideas there. I mean, you're going to see your battle pass, you're going to see new guns, no more specialists are, from after Season 4. So we're going to evolve the specialists that we, work with the specialists we have. On the map, I think it's really cool the way that we're looking at is sort of creating this world of sort of an environment reclaiming. So kind of, it's not a remake of a Battlefield 4 map, but it's sort of, a setting that we've taken from that could have been a war zone that was a part of the sort of the BF4 world. And then, how does that war zone look now, reclaimed by nature and things like that. So I think the team is, they're having a lot of fun with this one. And I think, a lot of that comes from the positive energy that's come from the journey with the players to get to here.
So that brings us towards the end of today. So as we close out the year, Ryan, is there anything you would like to share with our community?
Yeah, I mean, I think, the easiest one and the one that's most important to me is just thank you to our players in our community for supporting us through this journey. I mean, the last year has been, it's been tough. It started off hard. The team's worked really hard, but the support of that group, the willingness to give us feedback, the willingness to let us get this game to where it needed to be. I mean, it's been tough, but it's been fun. And also, I mean, just for me personally, just thank you to this team that pushed really hard to get this game to where it is. I mean, the effort and the passion that this team shows for our players and this game, to me, is the thing that keeps me going every day. And I guess the big one for me is, happy holidays, and hopefully see as many of you in northern Sweden over the Christmas holidays in Norvik.
Awesome. So everybody, thank you for being here with us today. We're looking forward to seeing you in the new year. Happy holidays, and see you on the battlefield.